Welcome, everybody. I hope that you are getting something out of your online learning experience so far. Part of our day today is that I want us to go over the guided practice. If you have not already at this point, pause this video, go back and complete the guided practice. When you're finished, you can come back and we will go over the answers to the 3 problems that are in there. Again, we are working on area equations, so we're going to be given all the measurements except for one, and we're going to find out using our algebraic rules how we can solve for the missing side or the missing amount. Let's look at our first problem. The first problem says a triangular bandana has an area of 70 square inches. The height of the triangle is 8 3/4 inches. Write and solve an equation to find the length of the base. Okay, so they give us all the information except for the base. So again, we always want to start out by writing our formula. For area of a triangle, that formula is area equals 1/2 base times height. Then we want to fill in the information that we know. Well, we know that the area is 70 square inches, and we know that the height of a triangle is 8 3/4. We do not know the base. Okay, so we want to start by doing 1/2 of 8 3/4. So we do 1/2 times 8 3/4. So I'm going to turn 8 3/4 into an improper fraction. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 3 is 35 over 4. Okay, when I multiply, there's no cross products, so 35 times 1 is 35. 4 times 2 is 8. And then I want to turn this back into a mixed number. So 8 goes into 35 4 times. And then we have a remainder of 3, so it's 4 3/8. So now we write. And then we want to divide by 4 3/8. So what we already have 35 over 8 is our improper fraction for this number. So what we have is we have 70 divided by 35 over 8. But when we divide, let me write that down for you guys. We do change the division to multiplication, and flip my second fraction to 8 over 35. 35 actually goes into 70, so we have cross factors here. That becomes 1, becomes 2, and we're left with 8 times 2 is 16, 1 times 1 is 1, and 16 over 1 is just 16. So therefore, my base equals 16 inches. That's problem number 1. Okay, problem number 2. The top of a desk is shaped like a trapezoid. The bases of the trapezoid are 26.5 and 30 centimeters long. The area of the desk is 791 centimeters. The height of the trapezoid is the width of the desk. Write and solve an equation to find the width of the desk. So again, we always want to start with our formula. So let's write our area for a trapezoid. Area equals 1/2 times the height, base 1 plus base 2. Then we fill in the information that we know. Area is 791 square centimeters. We do not know the height, but we do know base 1, 26.5, plus base 2 is 30. We don't know the height. So let's start by adding our two bases. 26.5 plus 30 is 56.5. We'll do 1/2 times that 56.5. Half of 56.5 is 28.25 H, and then we divide by 28.25. And so we just need to figure out how many times 28.25 goes into 791, and that'll tell me what the height is. So I end up with H equals 28. And I got 28 from doing 791 divided by 28.25. If you need to see that division, I can show you that individually. Just reach out to me. But 28.25 goes into 791 28 times. All right, and let's take a look at the last question. Question 3 says, Taylor wants to paint his rectangular deck that is 42 feet long and 28 feet wide. A gallon of paint covers 350 square feet. How many gallons of paint will he need to cover the entire deck? So the first thing is we need to write our equation. Well, we have a rectangle. Okay, so we have area equals length times width. So I start with that. L stands for length. W stands for width. So now we need to write and solve the equation. Okay, so we're going to write an equation to find the area for our deck. Okay, so first thing we need to figure out is how much space we're using. Okay, the area of a rectangle is length times width. They already tell me that it's 42 feet long and 28 feet wide. So the first thing I'm going to do is do 42 times 28. And when I do that, I get 1,176. But the question is how many gallons of paint we need to buy. Well, 1 gallon covers 350 square feet, so I need to divide it by 350, and that'll tell me how many gallons of paint I need. When I do that, I get 3.36 gallons. Well, I can't buy 0.36 of a gallon, so I have to round it up to the nearest one, and Taylor will need to buy 4 gallons of paint. Okay, so in this case, I figured out the total area, and since each gallon covers 350 square feet, I divided by 350 to figure out how many of those I need to buy. Okay, hopefully you guys did pretty well. If you still do not understand any of these, please reach out to me. Comment, email, whatever you have to do. Okay, if you're good, you guys can go on and work on 13-3 AB.